Speaking at a meeting in Jaffna today to raise awareness among public officials on the 13th Amendment to the Constitution, Governor of the Northern Province, retired Major General G.A. Chandrasiri, outlined the circumstances on which a provincial governor can be removed from office.
The governor is not living up to the standard what he expected to live, and if he misbehave like a baby and also be like a rowdy, so then of course you can take action to see that the governor can be removed. Other than that, and also he misbehaved, I involved moral perpetuate. If you go to the dictionary, you will find the meaning of that. I will not explain it here. So in those areas, you are in a position to remove the governor and make an impeachment against him. Otherwise, under no circumstances that the governor can be removed unless he complete his period. That is, as I said, His Excellency the President will decide whether the governor should continue or governor should go after that period. That is how the system works.
Former UNP activists say that the proposals made by the Mahasangha to make the party victorious have not been implemented within the party.
Yes, Nadeem, Southern Provincial Councillor Maitri Gunaratne made this statement in response to recent remarks made by the United Leadership Council member MP Lakshman Kiriyella.
Who has been asking for this leadership council over the past 1.5 to 2 years? If you watched Sirasa over the past 2 years, what did they say every day? What did Venerable Girambe Ananda Thera, Venerable Bopitihe Dhammisara Thera and Venerable Mithiagoda Thera say on Sirasa over the past 2 years? They asked for a leadership council. Isn't this what they wanted? Now it has been given.
Mr. Lakshman Kiriyella has requested all parties to work together with this leadership council because this was the council which the priests have asked for. Now Mr. Kiriyella fails to understand that the priest very clearly asked for an 8-point formula. And in that formula, Mr. Ranil Wickremesinghe had to resign or had to move out from the leadership of the party, and thereafter he should see that a leadership council is appointed. Now the leadership council had to consist of 3 people nominated from Mr. Sajith Premadasa, 3 from Mr. Karu Jayasuriya, 3 from Mr. Ranil Wickremesinghe. Now this council does not have that constitution. This council has been appointed by Mr. Ranil Wickremesinghe, who has been rejected by the people time and time again.
We have constantly pointed out that a nation needs a strong opposition as much as it needs a strong government.
United National Party parliamentarian Ajit P. Pereira expressed these views at a media briefing held today.
Town hall එකේ අර මිනි කැසිනෝව නැත්තම් බූරු පිටිය මහා පරිමාණ බූරු පිටිය වටලපු
The 23 police officers who raided a large-scale gambling center and mini casino were transferred with immediate effect. This has demeaned the police service. We know who is behind this. Finally, the government was forced to limit the powers of a person who accumulated wealth illegitimately through various businesses and who created a social opinion that anything could be done with power and benefits. Yet, the government is not courageous enough to reveal the name of this person, let alone commence a criminal investigation. The only thing they were capable of doing is to dissolve the media center for national security. Now speaking at an event in Kilimanjaro, Deputy Minister Gunasekara made the following remarks on the opposition. At a time when the opposition should work on behalf of the country, Mangala Samravira, who is suffering from mental stress, is not only slamming the state media, but also the private media. We saw him scolding Sirasa. We saw him bringing Channel 4, who work against the country. We cannot approve of this. Therefore, I wish to remind you that you should work intelligently.
Former Sri Lankan cricket captain Kumar Sangakkara was named the International Cricket Council's One-Day International Cricketer of the Year.
Former Sri Lankan captain Mahela Jayawardene will receive the Spirit of Cricket Award. Australia's Michael Clarke has been named Cricketer of the Year and Test Cricketer of the Year, two of the most prestigious awards annually announced by the International Cricket Council. Clarke will receive the Sir Garfield Sobers Trophy, which is presented to the Cricketer of the Year. India's Cheteshwar Pujara was named the Emerging Cricketer of the Year. The ICC has announced that the awards ceremony will be telecast tomorrow across the globe. Legendary Australian wicketkeeper batsman Adam Gilchrist joined some of cricket's greatest names when he was inducted into the ICC Cricket Hall of Fame today during the third Ashes Test. Adam Gilchrist is the 79th cricketer to be inducted to the ICC's Hall of Fame. Gilchrist joined ex-Pakistan captain Waqar Younis, who was inducted on Wednesday.
On to more local news. President Mahinda Rajapaksa, who is currently visiting Kenya, offered a floral tribute to the first president of Kenya, the late Jomo Kenyatta, in the Nairobi Parliament premises today.
Jomo Kenyatta was the father of the current Kenyan President Uhuru Kenyatta. According to the presidential spokesperson and the international media unit, President Mahinda Rajapaksa was escorted to the memorial of the late president by the Deputy President of Kenya, William Ruto. President Mahinda Rajapaksa offered a floral tribute and paid his respects after observing Christian and Muslim religious rites.
Now thousands gathered in the streets of Pretoria for the final chance to say goodbye to Nelson Mandela, the man they call the father of the South African nation.
Well, Enoshi, mourners sang and danced in celebration of the life of the former leader as the cortege carrying the body drove past on its way to the Pretoria Union buildings, where the body will lie in state for a final day. Mandela's death has led to an outpouring of grief and emotion, combined with celebration and thanksgiving among his 53 million countrymen and millions more around the world.
Very sad that this great man is gone, and also very proud that he was part of our nation, and it's amazing to be part of this send-off. Only Africa can do it this way.
I was feeling pain, I was crying, but namhlanje I'm free. I was just Mandela and Zulu to go and rest in peace. Viva Comrade, viva!
Thousands more mourners queued to say goodbye to Mandela at the Union buildings from early this morning, although that too has not been without its problems. Mandela's body will lie in state for a third day today, before being flown to the Eastern Cape to be buried on Sunday at his ancestral home in Kunu, 700 kilometers south of Johannesburg. British politicians gathered to celebrate the life of Nelson Mandela in Westminster Hall, where the former South African president addressed Parliament in 1996. British Foreign Secretary William Hague and leader of the opposition Ed Miliband spoke at the event, which was attended by members of Parliament and veterans of the struggle against apartheid. A South African choir also performed during the service. In an interview with UK's ITV News, Winnie Mandela said that she would make the same sacrifices and do it all over again to ensure the liberation of South Africa. Winnie Mandela said, quote, "I would do that 100 times more. I need to go back to those days," unquote.
Well, Dada had been in pain for so long. He was actually described by his doctors as a medical miracle. But they assured us all the time that he was not in pain. He had enough medication. I went close to him, and I noticed that he was breathing very slowly. I was holding him here, watching him, trying to feel the temperature. And then he drew his last breath and just rested. I realized that God was very kind to us. He had given us such a long chance to say goodbye. But I felt in his case he had completed his journey.